Welcome, guys. Another squeezy Sunday. We had a couple of them already, right? In a row. So hopefully it's going to be the last one. Let's see how that's going to be playing out. But so far, as I've been mentioning, I've been aiming for this node of volume level a week ago as well, the 90K, to hold on it. If we're going to break down to it, we might find ourselves a little bit lower. I'm still aiming we're going to hold on this quote unquote V bottom ish structure. Not really a perfect one, but it is what it is. That's the 86 area. Hopefully, we're gonna hold on that one. If not, there is still potential bit more support below us, aiming into the bits over here, and of course the low what we settled back in the days, right? So technically, we are really grinding it to the downside. It's not something that we dumping, or in any case, it used the grind and the hold on it. Still positive. Either way, we broke this all of those lows. It is still positive, and I'm gonna mention that in a second as well. But I'm looking at. But so far, yeah. Sadly, we lost the 90K. So the next aim should be 85-ish area. Let's see if we're gonna get into there. The bin as well, some bits pulled. So not really significant something to grab. We could either way turn around and retest this whole failure. Let's see how the Sunday is gonna play so far. So that's on the bit side. Moving on the VIX. This is freaking great. But there is a hedge to it as well. Be aware of that. Yes, we did dip below the 15, and I'm really happy about that. But I don't know if you see this comparing to the whole market. It's not something significant yet. The market didn't that much react to it. So that means we are still in the same position on the market. VIX is getting lower. That's good, but we need to stay here. Now, this is the whole hedge. If we start to get back at the 16, and unfortunately, and that's, yes, on the daily high time frame, we've been this whole area been already tested. That's not gonna hold that. So what's gonna happen then? We're gonna get back at 18. That's already quite higher up, and then start blast into the area of 20. So it's good, but there is some fishy area going on over here as well. We need to stay below the 15, right? This whole area over here that I've been mentioning for like already ages, this whole box, you need to stay here or even lower. That's perfect. But staying here and going sideways, I would love that. I don't like how the wave master is looking at it. Not really something significant that I always will go buy on the, not a price chart, but still it somehow fits exactly into the whole picture. So it get the highs, it get the lows. So if that's going to be the low, then be aware we might grind even higher. I would like, to be honest with you, to do one more sweep, and that's going to be one more leg down to the on the charts. Not really something scary if we start to do this, right? That kind of price. I would like that much more than the whole up movement on the VIX and doing some damage to the upside. So this is kind of technically I'm looking at it as well. It takes time. This builds up for fucking ages. I wish we could do this, like what I just mentioned. This will be really good for potential build up for the bear market. That's fine. I will not mind that. But then staying below the the 16 area, that's my point of aim. Right, every single time we've been here, it's been good for the market, but so far the market didn't react to it yet. So that could change, hopefully maybe from next week. Let's see. But we are getting close to the end of the year. Be aware of that. In 2 weeks, we have the Christmas. After that is New Year. So there is getting less and less trading days on the map. So be aware of that. Second thing, what still surprised me as well, it's Dixie. It is quite well holding. Right, we get back at 98 level that I've been mentioning Wednesday. Quite nice and really deep dive into that one, but we're still on holding on that one. Wave Master already cooling off, and we have still all of that support below us. So be aware right now, the only thing that we need to regain to go higher is 99.2. That's next step. This one is already done. Right? There is no need even to talk about those two lows on it. So regaining you 99.2, it will get back at highs or maybe even retesting of this, right? So far, we are still on the support, and there is much more support below us even. So yeah, this even could go sideways for a while, or even if it's mines, it can go even to 97, and it still will be good in the whole bigger picture. So be aware of that. It's something to look out for. That's why I keep the index on the daily. There's no need to look at it on the 4-hour and see how it behaves and comparing that for the market. It's not really something that I'm doing. That's gonna take you way too much time for you to do and go by everything. That's why I keep it always on the daily. And on the index, I always go daily wise because I look most of the times only once at it. It's gonna be in the end of the day. It's gonna be a weekend, and midday it's gonna be in the when the market opens on the week. So that's the area that interests me. Then total tree. After we had that quite nice price action and upside movement, and this is as well for the whole market. Now it start to get a little bit more iffy because I'm still aiming for one more leg down. I will mention that in a second as well, because right now, if you look at the oscillators even on the daily time frame on the whole market, yeah, that doesn't give me a good sign as well, right? We might dip a little bit lower, and that's still fine, right? It's nothing gonna be like breaking the prior low or something. It choose a bigger pullback, what we have been building for it for already ages. Let's say from November the 22. That was the beginning of this whole range. So, right, we could even dip a little bit lower. Right? We could do a wick. That's fine as well. Coming back and close anything above the 838. Perfect. Right? But then nothing close below that. That's going to be a little bit bad for the market. Now, PEX did kind of the same thing that I was predicting. I thought it was going to dip a little bit lower, but eventually it went you sideways. That price action for the ages. Quite sideways, cool off the oscillator, and right now we are spiking a little bit higher. We get nicely to the T to 4K and 364 area. Now let's see if we're going to regain that. Flip that, then of course that's a no-brainer is going to get at 4.438. So another, maybe that one, another 3%, yeah, 3-ish% movement on gold. That would be quite nice, but that means that the market's going to dip a little bit deeper. So yeah, let's see if that starts to pulling down any kind of soon. I don't think so. It's going to do that. So far, we're going to aim for a little bit more higher up. The first high time frame high been hit, didn't been regained, but it got hit. So let's see. Coming back at 4.2 could be possible as well. Hold that as support, right? That's a really tight and nice support what we built up for quite a long time. We could do that, right? We could do something like this, coming back, grind again, right? Grind again on top of that and do another one. Good. But it doesn't need to, right? We know gold behaves really actually on the market. So moving on, there is not much to mentioning except the dominance still in that whole up movement and then sideways to the downside. We didn't broke the low yet, what we settled Thursday, but the oscillator on that one doesn't look appealing as well. So we could dip a little bit more lower, coming back at 58. It would not be ideal because then we start to break stuff. But of course, for the market, that's always good. If the dominance goes low, right? Like if we decrease on dominance, that's for the Bitcoin nice, and for the alts even better. Let's see if we're gonna get that. The only thing what keeps me like maybe we're gonna do the up movement soon. It's only the dominance. The rest of the index and metrics doesn't look that nicely. Especially, I forgot to mention it. Not really something change, but we are still into that up movement. Still shitloads of longs into the market. So this kind of thing could happen, right? To wipe that. I've been mentioning that as well for like over here. This price action over here, it would fit really nicely to flip the long and short ratio. Only when we flip this long and short ratio over here, that could bring us higher up. I don't think retail gonna have a free ride. I don't think so. It's been rarely happening that retail had that. So that's my point of view on the whole situation of the market right now. Let's see how the week's gonna open up. It's gonna be really interesting for that my perspective. I don't look at that one often anymore. And the only thing what we've been doing is getting into the 150 axis, right? Constantly, we've been ping-ponging from already like from over here in November. It's been all the time ping-ponging. Not really something that built up the liquidity to the upside. That's the iffy and sketchy in my perspective. And we've been fighting all of this volume, right? This volume been built up over here and fighting it. This all point of interest even, of control of volume. Like how many times we fell from that quite heavily, right? We stayed for like not that long time on top of it. It's a little bit iffy and with price action, I know, but thing is like I'm still looking on the bigger picture and not sure that we're done with it yet. Let me just take this off. So I don't know if you guys can remember when we used to be over here. This was way and way thicker and appealing, right? That's not the case anymore. That's changed by as well by time, right? So people start to pull or they get wrecked or whatever, and yeah, they just start flip flopping as well. But this doesn't look that appealing anymore, comparing in the area that we are over here, right? That's quite different. Wait, let me. Right, this is way thicker locally and a little bit more above the locally price action, and all of that stuff over here, like coming back even to 100k, like this is a weak ass gap over here in liquidity. This is dead zone technically. Yeah, there is one, but like that one doesn't change that much. There are much more dead zones and pockets over here than there is liquidity as well. So it doesn't look that appealing anymore. Let's see. So far, the only thing that I'm aiming to get back at it is a little bit like around this area, right? Underside retest of this whole stuff. This red line. Grab all of that. You don't need to even go there. That's 98k. That's not even 100k anymore. So yeah, that's the point of interest for me right now. And all of that stuff over here could be easily be taken out, same as we did it over here, right? Get that. Like if you're gonna do something like this, low, lower, low, dead zone, and that could be your potentially flip of a long and short. I would like that much more than the price action that we are doing right now. And I was quite vocal about it, right? All of that stuff that we've been building up, that doesn't look good at all. Like if you want to have your own lovely pattern, right? So there it is. But yeah, this is just outside all of the stuff that I want to talk about it. Still grinding a little bit lower. That's all fine. Technically, we broke the structure, but we still didn't set a new lower low. That's going to be set on below 87.7. Oscillators, they are quite cooled off on the low time frame, not on the high time frame. And we are splitting right now on the cash flow indicator as well, or capital flow index, I mean. So that split been quite heavily. Let's see if we can flip that again sooner or later this week. And overall, capital flow index, PEX, it's a quite outlier. That's nice. Doing its job. SPX and ETH are a little bit more on neutral line, so not much happening. Unfortunately, Bitcoin was a little bit more above that line and we start to decrease from it. So now it's the moment if we're gonna go lower. So the Dixie and VIX start to pick up. As you can see as well, VIX starts to get a little bit closer and above the Bitcoin on the daily. So already a sign that there is a volatility coming in and maybe a sweep of the lows. So I would rather to see this timing up, this the downside and then do the bigger flip, right? Because eventually, as I've been saying as well, when VIX was here, Bitcoin went only to the neutral line. Nothing really major for the moves. Nothing like X, for example, or gold. I need to say maybe, right? So that's that. Okay. Now into the juicy stuff. We still are at the resistance. It's quite heavily. The yearly resistance is something that you don't really do it one go. But hey, this is what it is. Already, we had hidden divergent bearishly on Thursday. Yeah, that was Thursday. So that was already one first sign. We didn't get the reversal. We didn't get a trend change of any of that perspective. But still, that divergent is still playing out, right? So be aware of that one. Daily, we still didn't break the low on the daily. So that's going to be happening hopefully or not today. It all depends how the Sunday is going to close. If we start to break that, then definitely I'm aiming to get back at 86-ish area. That's the low that you want to hold. And the whole support that you are having below us is between the April and March. So that said, if we're gonna only look at the daily and we're gonna aim for that to play that out, because we technically could do exact the same thing what we did over here, right? This whole grind price action to the upside and then the sweep of the lows and then you add the move. Exactly that what I'm aiming for it, that it might happen over here as well, right? Same structure as well. The long and short was quite high as well on that perspective, and you don't need to break the lows. You could, but that would be like a cherry on the top to do it, because when you're gonna start to do that, right, this whole shenanigans over here as well, that's gonna be juicy, right? All of that. Take all of the low leverage over here. Everyone's gonna short the shit out of it here, and then we can finally go and maybe do some damage to the upside. So that's what I'm aiming for still. Just because that didn't change, because it didn't got broken on the daily, right? Yeah, 4 hour we've been fucking around with it. Like, I'm sorry for my French, but we been settling higher highs on the wick and we close above it. Yes, that's all fine and dandy. We didn't break the lows yet, only on the structure one. So the body wise, yes, we did break, but we didn't settle a new low. That's gonna happen below the 87. That's all fine. But then zooming a little bit more out into it, like on the daily wise, that was the highest high that we settled. That regained that hip over here, right? And then the second one, we couldn't even break. We couldn't get higher than that one. So already that shows you the weakness, right? All of that buyback over here, that was as well like pushed quite heavily. So right now we still grinding and getting into that move. We need to close below that. Then you start to get over here. That's your hip to hold, just because that didn't been tested yet. So that's the aim to get back at it, right? And then you have one more support over here. So eventually, like, yeah, it could be that we're gonna wipe all of that, get back into the support. Even on the wick, we could go lower and then close anything above here or here. It still should be fine for the upside. And then the long and short start to flip, right? Because I don't think they're gonna have the free run if we start to go higher. But that's only if, right? If we start to get that. And of course, like looking at the weeklies, we had that whole 4 weeks nicely dumped to the downside. And now we are going into the sideways period, right? This is the sideways. So what we're having, like first bullish one, that's fine. Second one was iffy. And now we are settling on the third one. So we are already 3 weeks in the sideways move, right? Yes, the oscillator cooled off. Like, yeah, I can agree on that one. But still, right? We still didn't even set the correct move or direction for it. So yeah, right now, if we start to close the weekly above the December, then that's going to be the third, let's say, bullish weekly open, right? That's the only goal we need to have it, like above the December, then start to do the upside move. So far, looks like it looks like. Yes, we still have 6 hours to go. So let's see how that's going to be playing out through the whole day. But like I've been saying, on the 4 hour, yes, you've been grinding constantly higher up. And this is still higher low, right? Yes, we broke all of that freaking shenanigans over here, all of that structure. That's correct. But we didn't settle it on the wick. So yeah, if you put this up, right? If you're going to do like that, I think you all can see, right? So how does this look like? Eventually, if you low, high, lower, low, right? So if you're gonna do and go by the book by 2, then we are already in the pocket. Is valid for this matter? Yes, it is, right? For this perspective, it is valid. Is it on here? Now, it's arguable. Yes and no, right? Because you've been testing it quite heavily, so it could be, but you could dip a little bit lower for it. So use for perspective, right? You need to break your 87 or close anything below that or wick in below that for settling new low. That's going to be new low from those 2 highs that you settled, right? So this is going to be maybe the first lower low or low what we're going to settle down. So let's see how we're going to play that out. Low time frame, I don't care because that's been already all of the places. And to be honest with you, like if you zoom in on 1 hour, like if you don't see that we're doing exact the same thing over here, then I don't know what to tell you, but they fucking with us quite heavily. Like this is exact the same thing what we've been doing. So obviously like that. But yeah, all of that freaking parts what we had constantly, like yeah, it's getting boring a little bit. It is what it is. I think some people are a little bit more in pain than others. And yeah, that's a little bit the overview on the Bitcoin, right? For me personal, if you want to have any potential for the up movement, the first thing that you need to do, that's this. This is the move that you need to have. Getting back at the highs, right? You don't need to even regain that shit. Just get back at the highs and come back at this area over here, right? This should be your support. Let me make that a different color for you. Right, 89.4, you need to flip into your support. Then you start to grind higher up and then start to do something like this. Right? This should be one of the most potentials and most perfect scenarios that you want right now on the lower time frame to regain anything. Right? Not even going by the levels, but just by that. Because then obviously, because you broke this, right, you're setting a new low. So that's going to be underside retest for sure. Going back, setting a new support, holding that, getting back at this shenanigans will be settled, coming back, and then doing that, and then doing that again. Why? Because same thing, stepwise, what we did over here, right? So that's the low, failure, and then failure, right? You clearly can see that this been like a stepwise pattern. Maybe way too many drawings. Right? Something like this, 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 this. How do you regain that? Do exact the same to the upside, right? This can go, this can go. I think. Okay. This is the low. So we're still in this weirdly range, if you can say. Up movement range, and then we still could do something like this eventually. If you want to stretch this out for like a couple months, then yeah, we could do something like that, right? Like this kind of pain in the ass range. We could. Building that out, like, yeah, that's going to be support, and you need to flip that. That's going to create you support. Fail that, done. Right? And I don't think we're going to go back above 100K then. If you fail below the 82 and you're going to hold that or close anything below that. Just because overall, like, my mouse is all over the places today. So there's not much anymore that's going to hold us. So yes, we could do that, right? That's going to be perfect. But we could even go lower on the wick. That's still possible, right? The same thing what we've been doing over here. So going back at those lows, like what does that mean? Like what's holding us? Nothing below, above that, but below. What's below that? 78. That's the weekly low. Then the only thing what you have on the lower time frame is the daily low, and then the wick low. There's not much of structure anymore left, right? Bits and volume or liquidity, yes, that might be stacked. So far, I didn't check that event. Oh, look at that. Low time frame, right? It started to stack. Could we wick into that? Oh, fuck yeah, we could. And bits as well, that's on, I didn't check that event, if they are even stacked over there or not yet on Kayotaka. But they used to be there. But already you start to form so low a leverage liquidity below that. So wicking into that potentially will be good, but you need to wick into that. And then you still have some juicy stuff left behind from all of that shenanigans, what we used to be here, right? And then stacks below. So if you start to think like what's more appealing, which side? And I'm not saying we're going to go there straight ahead, but this starts to get a little bit more juicier all of together than all of that over here. Right? Even on the daily, we have a big ass gap what we are right now into it. We took all of that. Right? So imagine this, like we've been back from this whole pocket. We got it. We get back at that one. So if we got that pocket, if we're going to be here, let's say, what if we're going to do exact the same thing and then freaking, right? Send it. But this is all speculations. Just like to open up for potentials what we could do. Overall, locally, what a little bit more interesting for people is this pocket over here. This is the first pocket what you're going to get back at the 96 area. Failing right now and continue going through this. And yes, there is a small pocket over here. We're getting into that, right? Grind here. That's potentially as well still fine because this is your low, this is your higher low. You could hold on that higher low. And that could be a nice move as well. Back at the resistance again. Already 90 days, right? What, 90 days? What did I say? Almost 60 days. But yeah, this is still a juicy pocket to take out, right? If you start to break, because eventually we didn't have that much a reaction from all of that stuff we took. That's as well something to think about, right? Most of the times we do bounce from the 150 axis. So far, we still didn't get that reaction. So we might even get lower up. And that could be fine, no matter what. Cash flow is going to be in a negative switching, right? We could have that moment, like doing this. Same thing what we had over here, for example, but it's a little bit more extended, right? Flip and then do one more. And then, right, could be. But overall, what I'm aiming is if you're not going to flip the 89.5 on the lower time frame and get back at the previous high that you failed from, so that's this one, this area over here. We have fair value gap over here as well. So we didn't even bother with that for like 3 days. And then you start to get back at that one. So you need to make sure you're going to hold at the lows, especially at the low of 84.7. Don't want to close anything below that. If so, last more chance, and that's going to be the 82.2 area. So far, this is the aim. And yeah, this isn't right now the range that you are going back into it. All of this is your new range, right? How you're going to deal with it could be in a couple hours or maybe days. We could deny that and just flip that, right? And going back at the highs, that could be. Wow. How many freaking times you need to get back at that resistance? So yeah, that's Bitcoin. I hope it's a little bit clear. It's all over the place because the price is a little bit freaking odd. But it is what it is. Weakness is in, and we are squeezing the shit out of it. Yes, we are getting back at the order block. As well, we did as well create a small one above us, and there is still two major ones above us, but we are still fighting against it. And funny enough, quite ironic, those are not the biggest one ever that I see, and we are struggling with it. So it's what it is, and that's why when I say this is the low you don't want to lose, because you have as well here overlapping ones. So you want to take care of those ones and hold on them, get back at the highs. So yeah, that's Bitcoin. Let's move on different shitties. See what they're performing. Hype as well. Like already on 4 hour, it's quite way overheated as well. Freaking Jesus, didn't even get back at the 70. Anyhow, still failing, right? Didn't regain anything from this area, so still failing. So this could potentially do as well. One more dip, if the rest gonna follow. So eventually for hype, the only thing that I want to see regain is all of that. And that should be no problem for it, because every single high, almost every single high, been already tested, right? So this shouldn't be problem. But so far, still freaking struggling with it. So yeah, overall for hype, still adding into the spot backs, right? This whole block, what I mentioned, this is my laddering into the spot backs. Let's see if we're gonna dip a little bit lower. So could be potential for any up movement soon. I'm not sure if we're gonna break the yearly. Not sure about that, but that's as well like you want to stay above it. Yeah, you want to stay above that. That whole hip, that's gonna hold the whole price, then freaking heavy. But yeah, potentially still more down movement, right? And as well, like over here, we just get into the cash flow, and straight up we got the reversal on that one. So already a sign of the weakness on that perspective. And that sell off technically the same happened over here, but a little bit more bullishly. So yeah, let's see. Stacked quite heavily on the dailies, so squeezing the shit out of it as well. Like every single thing what we've been seeing. Overlapping bigger even order blocks above us. So potentially, yeah, it could be. I'm still stacking all of that, and I really will look forward to get back at those area for a nice juicy trade. Yeah, would be nice. We're middling in the whole perspective is middling. A hype can do like from one of the nothing moves like that, and then just freaking blast through it. Then injective, if people are interested in that one, still it broke the previous higher low, so we are settling a lower low already. A second one, we could dip a little bit lower as well. Like this doesn't look really good at all, a price action, and we even could come back at 4.8 into the band over here. Let's see the daily as well. Like most of the coins, like remember that as well. Look at hype is the only one you have potential of rebounds, but last time we've been there with the trend change, right? We've been quite high as well on the chart. So we could potentially dip one more and then start to turn around. But overall, like injective as well, it's quite not really attractive on the daily side. So closing the daily right now, even that's gonna be setting a new low. See, already breaking stuff. But yeah, we could dip into the 4.6. I would not mind that at all. Same on Solana, still struggling. We didn't break out of the 141 area. Either way, we've been already closing above it. We still didn't break out from it. So right now, still losing the low. AVEX, same thing. right? That short from the failing of the weekly was really nice. And look at that. Trend change. Done. Right? That's definitely gonna dip lower. If Bitcoin starts to flip right now, then of course the rest of the market's gonna follow, but not really something that I'm seeing happening. Yeah. I was thinking to put some positioning into it, but so far not really interesting. Sorry. Not really interesting into it. Oh me. Okay. And there's one more thing that I want to check. Let's see what the bands are gonna say. I would see that as well, like taking out the 20 axis over here. Same thing what we did here. Yeah, would be nice. Where are we on the daily? Yeah, coming back at the bands, getting into the 20. Yeah, that could do the trick. The thing is, like, it's it's not the price action that's killing the people and the accounts. It's the slow of it, the grind, the freaking sideways, the dead price action. People are flipping back and forth with the thoughts, like they're fighting with their own fucking mindset. That's the most heavy shit. And then look at that, like freaking perfect. Failure, failure, failure. Yeah, you got all of that coming back below. Done. Yeah. I would see that. I could see going back at this. Eve had a really nice run up. So the thing is as well, people didn't agree with me that I've been saying that Eve looks a little bit better than Bitcoin, because it does. You need to remember that Eve did regain all of this shit already, when Bitcoin technically but maybe you could argue that it regained it, but it's still failing it quite heavily, right? And breaking already stuff. If in that matter, not only regain, right, with that, but then settle a new high, so already a higher high, and still holding on the structure. So ironically, when I was laughing about Eve, right now looks much more better than Bitcoin, in my opinion, right? But then still, like, Eve can break or even come close to 3K and $24. If so, we're gonna break over here, then that's gonna slide straight into this area over here. So, well, if looks better, and it already take out the 20 axis over here. Interesting. Jesus, that one is the only one in freaking profit. Okay, overall. Nice. Hidden one. Every single time I had the hidden one, bang on. Bang on. So yeah, guys, what do you think? What's your opinion in Discord? I'm crazy? Apparently I am. Look what you guys been talking. Not much. Jeez, it's been so quiet. I was so boring. Everyone falling asleep. Jesus. Yeah, you know I'm crazy. That's true. I am. Well, not really. It's nothing in news coming in. Yeah, the best thing is to wait it out. Sorry, I'm a bit tired from yesterday. But the best thing is to definitely to wait it out, right? Not much of trading right now. We've been taking out higher liquidity, leverage one positions. Right now, what's left? Only the low ones after the whole break to the downside. So potentially, yeah, could we go lower? Yeah, arguing, yeah, definitely we could go even deeper. But let's see how we're going to deal with it. Like, this is right as well. Like, if you see this kind of price action, this is just waiting for the market to move itself, right? Like, more like people jumping into the market. So, yeah, I would not be surprised if we're going to dip into the 86.3 and then have some bounce or relief bounce from it. That would be nice. Definitely from tomorrow, it's going to be more known which direction we might continue after the New York Open. And as well, look at the volume. Like this is well obvious, right? Like look at the volume we've been doing. Volume wise, didn't even come. But damn it, how can I make it bigger? Yeah. Look at that. This is from the dump, right? What we had. So this is the dump. After the dump, highest volume that we had is a short volume. After that, one long. That's the high that we broke out. After that, it's dead. So yeah, if we say that this is that price action, then there it is. It is. Like, of course, you can argue in 1 minute it isn't. Yeah, that's I agree. But overall, this is still dead. Like, we didn't even get back high at the volume that we did on the last dip. So yeah, you cannot argue with that. It is. It does. I mean, I don't want to say it looks bad, but it doesn't look appealing yet, right? Yet the 4 hour that flipped quite heavily through this range. That's fine, right? But if you stick with the lows only or freaking reshort this high for like 100 times already, then it's fine. But overall, like if you look at it, zoom out and look on the daily, like this doing. So the thing is, like, what we would do is getting back at the high, we just regain and fail straight ahead. Because right now, if we close, right, this candle below this, or definitely below that, right, that's the first failure after the setting this high. So the high that we set on 4th of December, the highest high, we regained this hip, right? We've been holding that structure, but right now we could fail that by closing below 89, getting back at 86, and if we start to close below that, we're settling a new low. So mm. Now, if you want to cancel all of that, right, you need to do this. technically we are in something like that. You need one big ass candle above everything, close it, and go sideways, and then that one. Same thing you've been doing over here. That's the cancellation of every single thing that people are thinking right now. This. I think Viking even mentioned that, right? So you are somewhere like, no matter in which area you are right now, even if you're gonna be here, you get one candle above everything, like big as dildo candle to regain all that stuff, and straight up you're gonna go sideways and holding a base like this. That's the freaking trying to put everything on it. No, I'm joking. So that means, what do we need to do? Regain that freaking ass resistance, and then do that. You have this, then you're gonna go at the 106. So far, not really the case of it, right? Not really. Finger crossed for bot master catching the job. I mean, bot master is doing quite well. So, do you want me to talk about that for a second? Then, yeah, we could. People forget as well. So not every single token will catch every single trade like people want it to do, right? That's not gonna happen. Eventually, some of them will do. So that profit, what some of them gonna do, that's gonna cover up the losses that another one did. Like, yeah, it could. Like so far, like for example, fuck, what did I do? Been so I cannot mess up this. So eventually, KCAC, for example, a lost trade, right? That's fine. Now, I think it took already second TP on it. So that already break even. Now that one is correct. Right, but it had the last one. So yeah, I didn't bother with that one as well. That one had a nice trade. Arrow. Jupiter is really freaking massive, gaining everything. So one of the outliers, right? And we've been for me in 2 trades, so not really something that I can say something about it yet. But yeah, and they're gonna be much more better ones. But yeah, some of them will catch, some of them will not. All depends. Like this is one as well. Like 2 losses, 1 freaking big ass gain. Great stuff so far on them, but you need to realize as well, like you need to take and give a time for them as well. Like after a week or 2, you cannot say anything about them yet. And yes, they do lose a trade or 1 or 2, but it happens. Part of the game. It's not that we build up or we're gonna build a bot that's gonna get every single low and every single high. That's not really possible. To build that, you will need to have like a fucking NASA computer or whatever. Not something that you can play around with your bedroom in Python or something. Yeah. It's good to have bots. Like what I'm doing is my main, like let's say, income from trading is my manual trading. That's hands down. But my passive income, those are the bots, and I don't care what they're gonna do. I mean, like so far, like yeah, I will need to care about them because I will need to manage them. I don't care if, like for example, they're gonna go against my own trading or whatever, or my own rules, because they do what they do. And if I see like a bot had like non-profitable trades, then yeah, of course I'm gonna cut them off or maybe tweak them a little bit, right? That's the part of it. You're managing your bots. You don't trade with them or together with them, right? But you're just managing them. You're just setting them on the right track. And if they're gonna have like, for example, this one, like no brainer, if there's gonna be like to more trades, profitable, without losses, hell yeah, I'm gonna double it in size. Right? And it could go wrong either way, but this is my backtesting right now, running them and see how they perform. So far, yeah, great shit. Right? 16%, 10%, 12.1%. Good. Good. And that's while you are sleeping, technically. Oh yeah. Overall, you're aiming to get back in this range and see how we're gonna deal with it. You guys have any other tokens to look for it? All right. I mean, all of them are gonna be exact the same. Not much. Jesus. Ooh. Ooh. Is he gonna be happy? He can buy his own shitty token lower. Yeah, even BNB didn't jump up. Ada still the same trajectory. I don't remember which one I looked last week. We had that token run, but I did on most of them. And this is still going according to plan. Not much left. Left. That's really something interesting, to be honest with you. And yeah, I mean, this as well, like, yeah, it had this run up, but still get into resistance. All right, I'm not going to be surprised if you're going to get back at 0.82. This hip. But it's quite nice run for it. Everything is like dead sideways. Look at that. Like, no matter which chart you switched on, like, all of them are exact the same. No money. Waiting for that bullshit. I've been charting it. I have no clue for who or why did I do it, but I've been charting it, and look at that. 12 hours. Let's even, if you want to make it easier, daily. But already on 12 hours, you see that we're starting to reverse. Cash flow reverse. So if that sign come in, the cross on it, yeah, that's gonna be going a little bit deeper. It's a lot. Let me freaking switch this all necessary things. And Saritas didn't go high about that. So this is the most important thing right here. Drop, right? When the side retest, you get a little bit more higher. Fine. Did you regain anything? Nope. Failing what? Close below this, 4.4. Right, you're gonna go back at 3.50. Sorry, 350. $350 over here. There it is. Failing that, right? Fail that. Run it up. Do another. So you need to realize, guys, that this did the whole break of the high time frame already. Weekly, ooh, 229. Oh boy, you retest that. Look at that. Next weekly cash flow reversal that's gonna come in. Oh fuck yeah. There it is. Right? That one. Wait. This shit is doing exactly the same thing. Look at that. Dang, boy. Privacy tokens, right? Sorry, is it a price? Oh, it is. Or something else, I was thinking. It's doing exactly the same thing over and over weekly. That. Hell. Yeah. Don't bother with it. Can you use bots for stocks? Oh, the window trading doesn't show them? Yeah, so the thing is, you need to understand, window trading, they choose like couple weeks or like maybe a month already. They just like get together with Hyperliquid in bed. So before they're gonna like finalize everything, set everything up, and like make sure that window trading have connection to even the stocks, then yeah, that's gonna take time. I didn't know that they don't even show up. Well, yeah, that could be. Yeah, so pay attention to them. And to be honest with you, like go and bother as well the support with all of those questions, because then you're gonna know exactly what they do or if they even working on it. Because I have no clue. Like yeah, I do speak with them, but they somehow find me a little bit pain in the ass lately. Yeah. Um, but yeah, that what I want to say, like all of the window trading questions, like the best thing what you should do is to ask the support, because they have okay, quite good support. Let's say depends who you get in touch with. So they are quite open as well and about the things what they do and if they're working on something or not. So yeah, you might find something on it. But yeah, look at that on the daily. All of the fucking tokens, like fuck my life. If you're not gonna have another leg down, I have no clue what to do. Whole market is fucking screaming about it. God damn it. Damn, damn boy. Mm. I'm just looking at the Ayutaka. The position with 2K, that's been already gone for like a couple of weeks or already. Didn't see that. Didn't find that one anymore. So they don't bother. Even with 1K, they don't know bother. So that's as well something to think about it. Yeah, I mean, we could have that, right? This, like, I would not. This would not be surprising as well. Like, just because we barely, like, for example, gonna break the low, let's say on daily, run it up, and then that fuckery like retest that again, like 100 times already the resistance, and then get back at the lows, break everything, right? So eventually, like, close it like this, run it up higher even, make people fucking long the shit out of it, and then bang on. I don't know. I'm kind of waiting for that moment because I didn't see it for so like even this. That's not painful at all. Like nothing over here. Okay, except this whole move. If people think that this is painful, it isn't, because this only did 16% and we are down minus 34. But hey, by all means, say that this is fucking shenanigans or something. But yeah. So yeah, interesting stuff, and I'm more and more and more and more likely to see some bigger moves coming up. If you not start quickly reverse this shit, right? And potentially do something bigger than only getting back at the resistance and then freaking not even coming close to higher up. And then my main goal is still this whole area over here. This is my main goal. Not really aiming for something higher up yet. So yeah, interesting stuff, I guess, right? Same shit. And different Sunday. And that's not really like going to be much of a quote unquote fuckery or something, but we still could do like, right, something like this. And then going back into it. Right? Hi, hello. Hi, hello. And then you just continue. Because we still didn't, let's say, structure wise on the bodies, yes, we close below that for our monthly, daily, we still have chance to close above it, right? So we are like on the really edge of the borderline of breaking something. So really not much specific about that. Mm, 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 mm. For a second, I had a scary moment. I didn't switch on the recording, but yeah, this is another Sunday, another sideways, another scam. Not really scammy, but that price action, and yeah, let's see how we're gonna recover. Like we're not doing this yet, so it's not really the same. But the sideways, like fucking, it played out quite heavily. Right now, you need to regain 89 to 5-ish area, or even potential to get higher. Yeah, it's iffy. It's really iffy. So for the guys who don't know how to trade this, like there is no need to jump the boat right now. Wait, the price gonna be over here or even back at the lows, right? That's the moment to long it. And if you are scared to short this, then wait that the price is gonna do something like this, coming back and settling support on here, right? And then you long this. That's the area and the moments to do it. Right now, like, yeah, you could, but make sure if you really want to catch this just because you're scared or whatever, make sure you having really tight invalidations, right? If you want to long this. So for sure, it's like your invalidations is this area over here above 89.5, right? That's your invalidation. That's 0.7%. Really good trade as well to even potential aiming to get at the lower the wick, 1.4. If not, a little bit lower, 87. That's fine. All right. Longing this, like, I don't know, like if you could, but then you aiming to really below the wick, so that's 1.3. Right? That's could be at a high 1.6, and not really something that you should aim for at all yet. Not really something that shows you as well do that. But yeah, overall, we are still back at this freaking price action. So we didn't even come back at the swing points, to be honest with you. So that's as well next area. That should be a proper area to long if you look for any. Mm, 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 mm. Hmm. Yeah. Mern, what's your opinion about AVAX? You are the only one who is still believing in it. Driving. I didn't ask that. I don't care if you're driving. I ask you about your opinion about AVAX. Fucking. You shouldn't drive and listen to me, by the way. Don't believe in it. Ooh. Oh shit. Boys, sell everything. This is your sign. Smyrn is selling. Sell it now. ATS. Oh. There's not, I mean, we still like, so, okay, funny enough about AVAX is that AVAX is doing opposite structure than Bitcoin. Bitcoin is doing this. Of course, we are not that high, but we are some over here, right? High, low, high, high, and then technically the opposite structure what Bitcoin is doing right now, right? So potentially, right, this whole freaking area is you big as support that you don't want to break on AVAX, because then you start to do some really sketchy things to the downside. You don't want to do that. It's easier for AVAX to fuck around over here and don't care if there's gonna be like lower low, higher low, and whatever it's gonna settle or break something or not. Still holding on the prior support, it's the key, right? So because then coming back and regaining stuff, it's much more easier when you have built up quite heavily support below you than bashing against the fucking resistance 100 times and not even be able to get through it, right? Over here, like that's the sweet pocket. That's the aim right there. I think he's in the short, so knowing Smyrn and his way of trading, he's already in short, taking already 30p, or he closed it out already from this whole aim over here. 30.3. I bet he's in that one. On short. Mm-mm-mm. To be honest with you, who's eyeballing it? Let me. Uh-oh. I want to say. Yo. Wait, I need to put you a little bit more louder. I don't hear you. Say something?
Yeah,
Fuck.
I've got my headset on.
That was way
But
too loud.
you're the one who turned it up there, so that one's on you.
Yeah.
I couldn't find my headset to throw it on there. I also would have jumped up sooner. No, it's not that I believe in AVAX as like as a network or anything like that. It's just I think I've traded it for the longest out of everything, and it's just the price
Yeah.
action I'm used to. And
You
like
understand
every
it much
single
more.
indicator works with AVAX. Like it just like so like you can think of any concept for an indicator, test it out on AVAX, and you'll have relatively all right results.
Yep.
It's freaking madness. Whoever market makes for them is just well, they're my best friend because they never come for me. So although to be fair, I was a little bit overzealous with the most recent short, and I got in like way too early. Um, and like, I
Really?
woke up and it was still in the squeeze event. It was like another fucking 14-hour squeeze event, man. Um, it's doing my tits in because like every live trade that I do with this strategy, it always gives me like a 16-hour squeeze event, and then when I'm not looking at the chart, there's a squeeze event in under an hour, and it's like what? So yeah, the joys. But no, I don't believe in it as a network. I don't believe in anything as a network other than Bitcoin, really. Um, and then everything else is just a part of
Yeah,
that,
I
I
was
guess.
just joking with the belief. I understand. I know your point of view of it as well. And yeah, because you've been trading it for so many times, years already, then you start to like get to know the price action of it, right? And that's why it makes it a little bit more
Yeah,
easier
yeah,
to trade it and a little bit more appealing
yeah.
sometimes. Yeah, I understand that.
That's why I've
Yeah,
always anybody that I've like had uh, in the past for mentoring or just for like generalized questions. I'll always tell them the same thing. Pick 5 tickers, put that on a watch list, and don't trade anything else. Trade
yeah,
those 5 tickers religiously,
exactly.
and you will make profit. It's just you get a lot of people are very susceptible to paralysis by analysis or just
Yep.
multiple choice. You walk into a shop and you're like, oh, I thought I wanted a bottle of Coke today, but maybe I want Fanta. Oh, do I want maybe BPM? Do I want Red Bull? Do I want Monster? Like you walk into a shop and you've got 30, 40 different drinks to choose from, and a lot of people that fucks with their decision making. So if you just limit it to like 5, like when I go into a shop, this is probably my tism. But when I go into a shop, I know exactly if my first choice isn't there, I know exactly what I'm going for as my second choice. And if the second choice isn't there, I know exactly what I'm going for my third choice.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
and
same
it's
for
the
me,
same
right? Like I'm
same when it
going.
comes to the chart.
Yeah, exactly. I have the exact the same like perspective view of in life as well. Like I don't go to the shop and like wander around like, oh, should I take this? Should I take that? What should I do that? No, like fucking hell. Like be strict with yourself. Like you buy this, this, and this, and this. If this is not there, then that's the second choice, and that's all. Like the time that you guys spending most of the times looking through coins, looking through watch lists, looking through all of that shit, you missed out on most of the fucking trades. Like that's exact the same time what you're spending as well in the groceries, going and wondering and like fucking dreaming what you should buy, yes or no, and then it's fucking 3 4 hours later and you're still in this fucking same place. Like mm,
Yeah.
that's the whole perspective
And
of it, like
and
as well. Like
yeah, and another way of looking at it is if to say, well, if I'm looking at these 5 tickers, what if I miss something else somewhere? Well,
yeah,
again, we'll stick
well,
with the grocery metaphor. Like, if you were going into the shop to do your groceries and you're like, oh, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that, but then your friend messages you and says, yo, fucking Walmart or Tesco or Asda, pick your chain of choice. They have a really good chocolate pie. Okay, yeah, I'll try the chocolate pie. And then you can go to the chocolate pie, get that, and try it out. It's the same. Like I could be trading AVAX, Bitcoin, and ETH religiously, and then you could message me and say, "Oh, Smurn, fucking, I don't know, Jupiter looks like it's about to do a swing failure or something," and then that's not on my radar, but it now is because somebody else has eyes on it, and they've said, "Oh, by the way, this is looking pretty good for a breakout or whatever." Insert trading concept here. So you're not really going to miss out on all that much. Like a lot of people think that they will miss out on it, but like, you've in here, like within the community, you've got obviously all the different chats. So if there's something going on that you're not looking at, you might get a message about it. But at the end of the day, you have your core main tickers and charts that you work with.
yeah,
And there's
exactly.
nothing wrong with like somebody suggesting, oh, here, try this out or try that, or have a look at this, have a look at that. So that's just the way I see it.
So
Psychologically, it really does
yeah,
work.
the thing is, like, I agree completely with you. Like, I stopped doing that shit as well, like years ago, I guess. Like, so the thing is, like, it's not that it didn't make money; it still does money, but it takes so much fucking time. Like, you guys, you need to remember as well. Like, most of the mentors, I guess, when you're gonna talk right now on the events, like, all of them have their own, like, let's say, quote unquote, favorite token, what they always go to, or they have like top 4 tokens that they trade off. Why? Because they know them heart by heart and not knowing by fundamentals, because most of the times we don't care about that. We care about the price action. So if you start to get to know the token, that means you're going to spend a little bit more time on it, trading it. You know how it's going to behave and how it's going to react on some things, right? So it's going to be a no-brainer for you to train it. So already, like I'm having over here as well, this is my top tradable tokens per not really considering a trading because I'm just randomly buying the lows and that's all. But that's just Bitcoin hype is our main ones. And the 3 other ones I always go if I don't find anything else in Injective, Solana, and Avex. Done. Why? Because I spent more on those tokens than on this whole fucking list over here. Because remember, like, if you need to find any trade and you need to go through the watch list of more than 20 tokens, you're gonna spend more time looking at the trade or looking for a trade, like to find something token by token, and eventually you're gonna miss out or on any of them, because that time that you could spend not going through hundreds of tokens, you spent on the fucking main 4 and learn them by heart. And then that's trading. It's not gonna be like that more taking time consuming, because it's gonna be a no-brainer for you. If you're gonna see a couple things already, what's happening on the chart, you're gonna know that that trade is gonna play out because you know that by fact, because you backtesting it already by so long, right? So that's the thing. Like, it's not that we are boring. Okay, maybe that's like you can considering boring because we stick with couple tokens, but it's just strict rules as well, consistent, right? That's the main goal, like consistency in the token as well that you're trading, right? That's the whole idea behind it. What Smyrn as well try to tell you, like knowing how the token's gonna behave. Like, it's the TA and the charting of it, and that's gonna take less and less time for you. Why? Because you don't need to do that eventually, because it's gonna be a like natural coming to you if you're gonna just look over the whole chart. So yeah, and I'm guessing right now we start to see the Sunday volatility coming in. We get the reactive entry already on low time frame on some of the tokens I saw as well, the hidden ones coming in. So AVEX had already bought 2-1. So let's see how that's gonna be playing out. I put by the way, when Smir was talking, I put a trade in. Let's see how that's gonna be playing out. 1.3, like not something that I'm always going for, but I don't mind. I like the react on entry on it. The low, we're holding on the structure, overlapping order book as well into it, and I'm aiming for, if the price is gonna go higher up, close ending above here, we start to get positive cash flow in. So could be nice. Let's see. That's gonna be the Sunday pumpy. And yeah, overall we still holding on the prior support, going through the 1-hour charts on most of the tokens, right? Yeah, some of them broke, like Injective, but I'm like aware of that. Injective has a little bit more deeper moves as well, so not really scared about it, just because we are holding on this whole structure wise. Hype starts as well to reverse into the freaking that overlapping order books over here. That's crazy. That shit is epic. And hidden one coming in. I love the hidden ones. That's a sign for a quite push or any directions when you aim for. So yeah, potentially there is some movement coming in. Let's see how we're gonna hold on. We still didn't really break this whole order block. So there is some support coming in. The high time frame bots are starting to reverse. All right, no worries, man. No worries. Have a good one. Enjoy. So yeah, let's see. Let's see how we're gonna play the Sunday out. But that's as well a part of the strategy, right? Stick with your not only with the plan but as well with the tokens. Like, one trade doesn't say the token is bad. 2 trades as well, no. Like, consistency in that one, that already can give you a bit more sign of it, right? And it's exact the same thing with botting, right? That consistency, that's sticking to the plan of it, is to put a bot and go see how it runs. Set up a rules for it. Like, I want to see how it behaves in a week, in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks, and 4 weeks, and a month. Like, and then after a month, you can decide, like, shit, okay, that bot lost a little bit too much. I'm gonna change that or whatever. I'm gonna tweak it. That bot was crazy, that amount of money. So it's a no-brainer, and you gonna add up to it, right? To make it a bit more next month. It's hopefully that's gonna be running, right? And vice versa. That's how you do it. That's how you're managing. Because after a week, like, yeah, on the lower time frame, you could say like, yeah, it was a shitty bot, but then see how the next week gonna be, because this week could be a shit, but the next one could be even better. You don't know that, right? And if you think you're losing too much money, then it's as well a no-brainer. You have way too big leverage, first thing first, or use too much funds into the bot, or you're going too aggressive on it. That's binding together with the leverage, right? Rather, for you, if people are a little bit more new to the botting, stick with the 1x on all of the bots. See how it runs. If you can make money on 1x or double your portfolio, you can make money even more on 2x then, because then you know what you're doing and how the bot performs, if it's a good one or not one. So, believe me, I wish they could fucking delete leverage. I wish. Stick with perp or like stick with one only leverage. Not having that freaking crazy ass leverage, because no one needs that shit. People get only wrecked by it. And they don't know how to use it most of the times either way. So, but yeah, that's a little bit ramping. Let's see how we're gonna deal with it. Could be really interesting if we start to flip it, get back at the high and hold that. That would be really nice beginning of the week, but I'm not sure if you're gonna get that. Like a previous week was like we did everything for nothing technically. But yeah, food is overrated. Yeah. Andrian, have a great evening. Andrian, I like that. Andrian. Have a good one, Orca. Thanks for being here as well. Have a good one. But yeah, only the daily. It's for me a bit rough and weak. But overall, low time frame. We still could have some small bounce. So yeah, hope it was useful. It's been a little bit like have a great evening. No worries, man. Have a good one, Orca. Hope it was a little bit useful. I tried to do my best to explain where, in which kind of perspective and market we are. Like I've been saying, it's as well weird. Not really weird, but it's a little bit still like on the edge of, are we still aiming to go lower? Yes or no? Overall, like we quite bottom on most of the index. Okay, not on total tree, but on the rest of it. And the dominance, right? The only one what's really keeping my faith in that we might do some upside movement is the dominance, right? Let's start to get close to 58. Overall, still waiting game. Painfully, patiently waiting. The worst case scenario for all of us traders, what we all hating is waiting, right? We want the action, the pumps, the dumps, the gains. But waiting, boring. Thanks. Thanks, Firewood. See that. But yeah. Oh, Crypto Poly, what's up? Let's wait for people to end up sending the messages. And I'm gonna close the recording. Lang zitten posted. F.avex long set to post. I didn't post it yet. I just pulled it on it. I don't think that's gonna be long lived, but let's see. I'm wondering, like, just for me, like, this is eyeballing and like nothing like special or aiming for goods or something, but just like if potentially, like overall, like thing is low, right? Like for example, maybe lower time frame is going to be for you guys a little bit more. So if that was the low, you settle a high, you regain that, right? Hold that, get back, and right now we are literally on this support, right? So technically, I did it on 1 hour just because I didn't bother to zoom in. So if you are on that support overlapping, I just want to see if that's going to be the right moment as well, if that's going to work. Overlapping order books, get back in the bands. You've already 2 freaking reversal signs on that one. And that's why I say, like, if the cash flow cross comes in, like that one, the green one, that could send you a little bit more higher up, right? Aiming something like underside retest, 2.4. The stop loss is a little bit heavy on that one, but I just like to put it below the wick. That's the only reason, but no matter that. Let's see. Could be something interesting, but not really something that I'm having faith into it as well. That much. I just want to see how many times did we had that kind of entry over here. There was one. Right, it could be something similar to what we had over here, right? That whole dump over here. Holding on this whole structure over here. So technically the stop loss below and that run up, right? Something like this. Could be. Or it's gonna fucking nuke through it. Straight ahead. That's all. Same here over here. Oh, that's not the double one. I thought it was double. But yeah, it's really rare that you get 2 reversal signs on a token. But it is 1 hour, so not really something that you should go heavy on it at 4 hour already. Like, it wants to poop off the cliff as well. Yeah, if I'm gonna be stopped out, I don't care about that. It just 10% of the funds, what it's in, I guess. Yeah, something like that. Position of couple case. Oh yeah, I'm gonna post it later on if I don't forget, because I have a meeting after the stream as well. So think that's gonna be all. Let me just have a look at the dash. Okay, that's still fine. Don't bother like going through all of the coin glass because it's not much changing from freaking weeks, I guess. So there is not much to show. Viking is covering that nicely on the week daily update. So, oh, okay, never mind. I sorry for the words what I just said. Yeah, we grabbed that freaking node. What we have it with a couple mil of liquidity on the low time frame. That's a really low time frame. So let's see. Just was clicking through it and saw that. See that node, we grabbed that. So potentially we could slide a little bit lower right into this whole area, and then we have a small dead zone. But look at that stack over here. Like, for fuck's sake, how many times we're gonna get into that? Crazy. Crazy. Yeah. That was interesting. I've been looking at it as well, like a week ago, a yearly chart. We took all of this fucking massive liquidity. So no wonder we are going freaking sideways. Same thing what we did over here, right? Exact the same thing. We took all that sideways, bang on. But there is not much below, like not really something significant. So, yeah, fun times. But yeah, it is a bit boring Sunday. Boring Sunday. bit iffy as well. Let's see how we're gonna play this off. Let's see if people's gonna step in this Sunday as well. As last time we had it 3 times in a row already. Heavily coming in. The Sunday volatility. So yeah. Anyhow, I'm gonna bounce. Have a meeting. And I might be later on as well in the chat. The voice chat. I think Eagle gonna be there as well. I'm gonna talk about some things. And yeah, if so, I'm gonna see you later. I'm not sure. No, he's not streaming today. So that's tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah. Merlin is doing it tomorrow, his stream. So he moved that. Okay. So then I guess I'm the last one today. Sorry. Any questions, guys? Let me know in the chat. And I'm gonna stop my recording right now. See you later on Wednesday. And
Did
that's
I
gonna...
fuck up?
Did you fuck up?
Instead of moving last week's stream to Monday, did I move all the streams to Monday?
I mean, that might be because on my side, when I go to events, I'm the last one today and you are tomorrow at midnight. Monday tomorrow at midnight. You might, I mean, I'm used to that one, but you fucked up big time by moving all of them.
Yeah, probably. No, I depending on what time I get back to the house at tonight, I'll stream tonight.
Guys, they are listed as midnight today for me.
Not for me.
In 4.5 hours. It says tomorrow
Okay.
000. That's midnight now.
But then...
Okay, yeah.
So it's correct.
Yeah, yeah. Either way, I will
God damn
aim
it.
to be streaming tonight if I get back to the house in time.
Can you not choose like fucking 30 minutes before midnight so you're gonna be clear which day it is?
It's a confusing time, but it's
because on my side is repeats every Monday. That's what I'm seeing.
Tough shit, boys. I'll figure it out tonight when I'm back at the house.
Yeah, Mark, on your side, it looks fine because you are 1 hour later than us. Or before.
In your mouth, man.
Yeah.
Haven't your mother teach you that?
That's why I'm dropping down off the stage.
Okay, so it is Sunday because of the time zone then. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I agree. Fucking hell, why is this always so confusing? But yeah, then I will see you later on Smurf's stream, guys. Let's see what he have to say. That's gonna be interesting. But yeah, okay. Now it's time to get back at the recording, what I was doing. Where are you? But yeah. By that, keep it safe. Happy trading. Happy new week. It's gonna be last week before Christmas. So last full week, guys. Remember that. Next week is last full week of trading before the Christmas, New Year, and all that shenanigans. So take advantage of it. Have a good one. See you and love you all. Happy trading, guys. Bye-bye.